What if I told you the most feared muscle car of 1970 wasn't a Chevelle, a GTO, or a Hemi? It was a Buick. And it didn't just beat the competition, it embarrassed them. What's up, everyone? Subscribe to my channel, and today, get ready, because we're stepping into the world of one of the most feared, respected, and legendary American muscle cars ever built. This isn't just a classic, and it's not just a collectible. This is a 1970 Buick GS Stage 1, a car that didn't just break rules, it rewrote them. When Buick decided to prove the world wrong about what luxury performance could be, they unleashed a machine so powerful, so aggressive, and so shockingly refined that it became one of the greatest muscle cars ever to rumble onto American pavement. And today we're diving deep into the story, the design, the engineering, and the soul of this absolute beast. The 1970 GS Stage 1 wasn't just Buick showing off, it was Buick declaring war. At a time when names like Chevelle SS, GTO Judge, Roadrunner, and Mustang Boss 429 dominated headlines, Buick could have stayed in their comfort zone of quiet, upscale cruisers. But instead, they walked into the arena and introduced something with enough torque to twist the earth. The Stage 1 wasn't built to make noise, it was built to make statements, big ones. The kind of statements you can feel in your chest and hear 3 blocks away. Under that long, sculpted hood is where the magic truly begins. A 455 cubic inch powerhouse, massive, intimidating, and tuned for the kind of raw performance most people weren't ready for. But Buick didn't just drop in a big engine and call it a day. They engineered one of the greatest torque monsters in muscle car history. The Stage 1 package bumped the engine to a factory-rated 360 horsepower, but anyone who knows these cars knows that number was a lie, an understatement used to keep insurance companies from fainting. In reality, dynos prove these engines pushed far beyond what the paper claimed. But the real legend? The torque. 510 pounds at just 2,800 RPM. That wasn't just best in class, it was an earthquake waiting for a green light. But what made the GS Stage 1 so special wasn't just its numbers, it was the way it delivered its power. Smooth, confident, sophisticated, yet absolutely violent when you needed it. Buick wasn't trying to build a race car with bare-bones comfort. They were building the gentleman's muscle car. Power with polish, speed with style, a monster wearing a tailored suit. Imagine this, you're sitting behind the wheel, wrapped in high-end Buick luxury, plush seats, detailed trim, gauges that glow with that 1970s muscle aura. You turn the key, and the 455 wakes up with a deep, commanding growl that only a Stage 1 can produce. This isn't a screamer like some small blocks. It's a low, thunderous, confident rumble that tells you the car doesn't need to prove anything. It already knows what it can do. Out on the road, the GS Stage 1 doesn't just accelerate, it launches. That instant torque throws you back into the seat with a force that feels like the whole world snaps into a different gear. This car didn't just outrun rivals, it embarrassed them. It stunned the muscle car world with the perfect combination of finesse and fury. While other cars needed to rev high to feel alive, this Buick was alive the second you touched the pedal. And the look people gave when they realized a Buick, yes, a Buick, just smoked their pride and joy? Priceless. But performance wasn't the only thing that set this beauty apart. The styling was on point in every direction. A bold, aggressive grille. Sharp lines that made the car look ready to leap forward even when parked. A commanding stance that said, "This isn't your grandfather's Buick." The hood scoops weren't for decoration, they were a gateway for this monster to breathe. And the GS badges weren't just trim pieces, they were warnings. And then came the reputation, the legend, the status that cemented this car into history. The 1970 GS Stage 1 quickly became the ultimate sleeper killer. People underestimated it right up until it launched like a catapult and left their jaws somewhere on the asphalt. Buick had taken their luxury engineering, blended it with brutal muscle energy, and created something timeless, something powerful, something nearly untouchable. Collectors today know the truth. The GS Stage 1 isn't just desirable, it's sacred territory. A properly restored or well-kept Stage 1 can command massive money, and for good reason. Not only is it one of the fastest American muscle cars of its era, but it's also one of the rarest and most well-rounded. When people talk about the top muscle cars of all time, this one isn't a footnote, it's a headliner. Every detail, from the chrome accents to the sculpted body lines, from the heavy-duty transmission to the performance-tuned suspension, was crafted with purpose. Buick didn't leave anything to chance. They built a car that could cruise in total comfort, then stop the competition the second it felt challenged. And when you drive one today, that feeling is still alive. The GS Stage 1 hasn't lost its bite. It hasn't lost its elegance, it hasn't lost what made it iconic. So if you're watching this video right now, just know you're looking at a piece of automotive history that changed the rules. A car that proved you can have raw power without sacrificing refinement. A car that taught the muscle car world that luxury and brutality can live in the same body. This is the 1970 Buick GS Stage 1, one of the most dominant, respected, and unforgettable muscle cars ever built. If you love legendary classics, rare muscle cars, and deep dives into automotive icons, you're in the right place. And if you want more videos like this, more history, more power, more incredible machines, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.